What if I told you Levi Ackerman's greatest regret wasn't about the choice he made, but about the fact that he had to make it at all? In a world where survival means sacrifice, Levi's decision to let Commander Erwin Smith die and save Armin wasn't a failure. It was the most painful act of mercy in the entire story of Attack on Titan. Today, we'll uncover the real meaning behind Levi's regret, the burden he carries, and why this moment defines not just Levi, but the very philosophy of humanity in Attack on Titan. So if you love deep anime breakdowns and stories that make you question everything, make sure to subscribe. And let's dive right in. Levi has always lived by one simple rule: make a choice with no regrets. That's not just a catchphrase, it's something he learned from Erwin Smith himself. In Attack on Titan, No Regrets, we see Levi's life before joining the Survey Corps, a criminal from the underground who lost his friends, Furlan and Isabel, on their first expedition outside the walls. Crushed by guilt, Levi almost broke. But it was Erwin who taught him that there's no way to know which decision is right. You just make your choice and move forward. That lesson became Levi's code. Live with your decisions, never look back, and carry the weight. Years later, that same philosophy would come full circle when Levi had to decide whether to save Erwin or Armin. On the surface, it seems like a tactical decision. Erwin was humanity's greatest leader, the only one capable of commanding victory. Armin was a brilliant strategist, but still young, fragile, and untested. From a military perspective, the obvious choice was Erwin. But Attack on Titan has never been about what's obvious. It's about humanity. It's about pain and meaning and mercy. As Levi stood over Erwin's dying body, something inside him broke. He looked at the man who had carried humanity on his back, a man who had sacrificed thousands, who bore the screams of every soldier who died believing in him. Erwin's entire life was a war he could never escape. Even when victory was close, he was haunted by guilt, by his own obsession with the truth in Aaron's basement. In his final moments, Erwin finally let go. When Levi saw him reach out, imagining himself as a boy again, smiling at his father's words, he realized something. Erwin didn't want to come back. For the first time, the commander wanted peace. Levi understood that reviving Erwin would be cruel. Bringing him back would mean dragging him from peace back into the nightmare, forcing him once again to be humanity's devil. So, Levi made the most painful choice of his life. He let him go. That wasn't weakness. That was mercy. It was Levi's way of saying, "You've done enough. Rest now." And in that single moment, the strongest soldier in humanity became the most human. But that decision wasn't just about Erwin's peace. It was also about the future. When Levi looked at Armin, he didn't just see a wounded soldier. He saw hope. He saw a boy who dreamed of the sea, who believed that life outside the walls was more than just survival. Armin represented what Erwin and Levi had lost long ago: innocence, curiosity, and a reason to believe that humanity could become something better than soldiers. By saving Armin, Levi gave the next generation a chance to carry humanity forward, not with blood and orders, but with imagination and hope. And yet, here's where Levi's regret really begins. Because even though he made the right choice, the least painful one, it still hurt. Levi doesn't regret letting Erwin rest. He regrets that the world forced him to make that choice in the first place. That's what makes him one of the most tragic characters in anime. He's the man who's always left standing after every battle, after every funeral, after every impossible decision. He's seen more death than anyone, and every scar on his body is a memory of someone he couldn't save. When Levi says he has no regrets, it's not because he feels no pain. It's because he's learned to live with it. He carries the ghosts of Furlan, Isabel, Petra, and now Erwin. But he keeps moving, because that's what they would have wanted. It's not peace, it's endurance. And that endurance is what keeps humanity alive. The beauty of Levi's story is that it closes the cycle Erwin started. Erwin told him once that the only way to find meaning in this cruel world is to move forward. In the end, Levi proves him right. He carries that lesson until his final battle, when even after losing everything, his squad, his strength, his world, he still fights to the end. Levi's regret isn't about what he did. It's about what the world took from him and how he kept fighting anyway. So the next time you see that moment, when Levi closes Erwin's eyes and says, "Give your hearts, remember, that wasn't just a commander saying goodbye to a soldier. It was a friend setting another friend free." And maybe that's what Attack on Titan has been trying to tell us all along. That in a world built on pain and sacrifice, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let go. If this scene hit you as hard as it did for me, tell me in the comments, did Levi make the right choice? Or do you think Erwin should have lived? I read every reply, and your take might even show up in the next theory video. And if you love deep anime storytelling from Attack on Titan to Bleach to Berserk, hit subscribe, because the next episode dives even deeper. Because in the world of Attack on Titan, regret isn't weakness. It's proof that your heart is still human.